Hello friends, in this session we are going to learn two frameworks, one client-side framework and another server-side framework. In first part we will learn AngularJS, this framework. This is a framework used for as a client-side framework. So let's see what are the contents of this part 1, AngularJS. For AngularJS we take the overview of AngularJS, then what is the MVC architecture, how it is implemented in AngularJS, what are the directives, expressions, controllers, filters, tables, modules, forms in AngularJS. With the code examples we will learn this. Also we learn Angular in AngularJS includes few scope services, how to do the dependency injection, custom directives, how can we write, how can we deal with internationalization, and at the end of this part we will get the introduction of a Node.js framework. Then second part will cover server-side framework, that is a struts. For struts also we will check the overview, architecture, configuration of struts, what are the actions, inceptors, result types, validators, localizations, how exception handling happens in struts, and annotations. So let's start with, first let's understand what do you mean by framework, then only we can go for learning different framework. A framework in computer programming, a software framework is an abstraction which provides a generic functionality, can be selectively changed by additional user written code. What does it mean is, if suppose we are developing softwares for banking, for supermarket or any another product, in these different applications many of the tasks are same, so many generic functionalities we need in all. So such generic functionalities will be made ready available to the developer so that they can save their time. That generic functionalities, using those generic functionalities, then user has to write their code to build that particular application specific softwares the framework provides. It provides a standard way to build and deploy applications and in universal reusable software environment. As this is a generic functionality, we can reuse it for different softwares, different products, different applications, and as a one platform. Framework, it is known to be a skeleton. Yes, we can say framework as a skeleton where the application defines the content of the operation by filling out the skeleton. For every application, what is the basic skeleton? That skeleton functionality the framework provides. Few framework examples are web application systems, plugin manager, GUI systems. The framework only defines the concept. Remember well, the framework only defines the concept, but an application further defines the functionality that is useful for the end user. So even frameworks are available, it doesn't mean that we will get the ready-made applications using those frameworks. Application specific logic, functionality, developer has to write. But to build that application, what are the generic functionalities required, that need not to be done again and again. To stop that repeated task, the frameworks are used. Then to understand the architecture, we have to know that what is the MVC architecture. So before that, before MVC architecture, what was the architecture? Generally two architectures are considered, model 1 architecture and model 2, that is the MVC architecture. So let's start with the model 1, from where web development start. Generally servlets and JSPs are used to develop web application. As we know that servlet is a Java program which is used in the place of CGI. Servlet technology doesn't create process, rather it creates the thread to handle the request. Means it is a lightweight process. And the advantage of creating thread over the process is it doesn't allocate separate memory area. Threads works in the parent memory area. So servlet get famous over the CGI. But still, as we know that in servlet we write the HTML code inside the servlet. So any change happens in the servlet code, we have to recompile it, and then after modification we have to recompile, and then we can use. Also here the display, presentation and business logic is mixed up in the servlet, and really if that presentation logic, I mean to say that the HTML file we are going to create as an output of that servlet, that is very complex to write inside the out.println and such statements. So these are the drawbacks of or problems with the servlet technology. That's why to overcome those servlets we learn the JSP, Java Server Pages. What it does, Java Server Pages provides the better separation of your HTML and the business logic or the code, means presentation and business logic. Inside one JSP page you can write the Java code as a JSP tags, that may be a declarative tag, expressions, scriptlet, JSP actions, Java beans, those things, and you can take the help of HTML tags to present those contents. So you don't need to redeploy the application if JSP page is modified. Yes, please note, as when we do the change in servlet file, it is a Java file, we must have to compile and put that on the server. That is not needed in the concern of JSP. JSP provides support to develop web applications using Java beans, custom tags and JSTL, so that we can put the business logic separate from JSP, that can be easier to test and debug. This is the scenario of JSP. So if you see the architecture how JSP works is, suppose this is the client send the request, then to the server forward that request to the JSP then uses the Java beans will get connect to the database, retrieve the data, and then that data will be given to the JSP, and then JSP will prepare final presentation, how to present that data and give response back to the client. This is the model 1 architecture. What is the advantage of this? It is a very easy and you can develop web application very fast. These are the advantages, easy and quick to develop the application. But are you noticing the difference? Are you noticing the problem in this? Here navigation control is decentralized. This is the first disadvantage of this JSP. Navigation control is decentralized. What is the navigation? Going from one JSP to another JSP, one resource to another resource, it is decentralized. Why? Because since every page contains the logic to determine the next page. Means in JSP, after this task is complete, where to go to the next. If JSP page name is changed, then the links we have provided with the names in different JSP pages we have to change. So we need to change this, and obviously it is very difficult to maintain if that web application is having a large set of JSP pages. Suppose one JSP page we have used in 10-20 different JSPs, and that page name is changed. We have to modify all this. So maintenance is very cumbersome. That is one problem. Second is developing the application using this model 1 architecture is a time consuming. You need to spend more time to develop custom tags in JSP, so that we don't need to use scriptlet tag. To avoid or to make the less use of scriptlet tag and to design our user specific, like you can design your JSP tag library for conditional statements, loops, some sorting algorithms, for specific algorithms that you can use, but we have to spend more time to develop these things. So that is again one problem. It takes much time, and also it is hard to extend. When to use model 1 architecture? When the application is small, it is of 10 to 15 pages whole web application. But for large application, as we are using the JSP, and we know that JSP is not a object oriented, so we cannot take those benefits directly easily for extending the applications like reusability, polymorphism, these things. So it is really hard to extend the application developed using architecture. But we know that as the customers may ask to give the more functionality, new functionality, addition, extension, that will be difficult to manage if we go with the model 1 architecture. Then what is the solution? Solution is the model 2 architecture. Model 2 means MVC architecture. What is the MVC? M for model, V for view, and C for controller. This is one design pattern. Remember, this is one software design pattern, MVC. It consists of three modules. One is model, second is view, third is controller. What does model means? Model represents the state. State means what? At any particular moment, what is the value, either in that variable, in the array, in the database, and the business logic of the application. So model contains actual business logic, and accordingly it maintains the state, or it maintains the data inside that web application. What is view then? The view is responsible to display that data. Means it is a presentation layer of the web application. View displays the contents. And controller, the controller will act as an interface between view and model. So controller will decide for this, if request come from this view, then which next view should be presented, or to process that request, which model should get called, of which model we should get the help and prepare the result. So it intercepts all the requests, receiving inputs and commands to model or view to change accordingly. So if you see here in the diagram, if this is the client side, if we send the request, then the structure here MVC, three parts are separated. That is the presentation, then second is the navigation, and third is the data and business logic. These three things are totally separated. Presentation will take care by, that is the view is take care by JSP. Navigation will be taken care by controller, filters or servlet, and model will be handled by Java builds, and then Java builds will communicate with the database. So this is the MVC architecture, model, view, controller architecture. Here these three parts are model, view and controller are separated in each other. So this gives the additional benefits, advantages of developing the web application. Let's check what are the advantages. Advantages of model 2 are navigation control is decentralized. Means only this controller will decide where to go, if this success, if fail. So if you want to make the changes, only in this controller file, in the filters or the controller servlet, you have to make the modification. Easy to maintain, as three things are separate and independent of each other. Then making extension in presentation, making the change in presentation, making the change in model, or making change in any of these two will be easy, and it will not affect to the other model. Easy to extend, easy to test, as these are the separate models, independently you can test, and better separation concern, as I said. So suppose if you imagine that you have to develop the web application for banking software. So your first customer is State Bank of India. For that you have developed the bank software. In that case, you will develop the business logic for bank, that is what are the different accounts, how to manage the account, transactions, withdrawal, deposits, all these things. Let's say that SBI started using this application. Later on, some another bank also want the same application. In that case, you can just change the front view. Obviously, some business logic may change, but you don't have to start from the scratch. You can keep the business logic same and just change the presentation, and you can build another software. So I think what is the benefit of the separation you are getting. Also, these three tasks, the database handling, presentation, teams will work parallelly. In this sense also, your execution will be fast. Your development of the web application will be fast, as these are the independent of each other. But what is the disadvantage of model 2? We need to write the controller code self. If we change controller code, we need to recompile the class and redeploy. That is the only. When to use model view MVC architecture? Yes, you have to use the MVC architecture for the applications which are large in extent, like banking softwares, online super Shopee, with the huge applications you should build. So this is the introduction to the framework and what is the architectures, and deeply what do you mean by MVC architecture, model view controller architecture. In the next sessions, we will learn step by step the Angular JS.